this is the hacks. You and I do not have the time to put together all of this thought leadership in a beautiful roadmap forever and ever, because the reality is we could spend a few hours putting one together and it could go out the window the following day. The hacks are all about making people like you and I, busy individuals, accessible to all sorts of different thought leadership platforms. So I'm going to start with one of the best thought leadership hackers in the industry, Tim Ferriss. So Tim wrote his flagship book, Tools of Titans, based on interviewing 25 very senior, very influential business owners. And then he wrote a book with it as he's repurposed their content. He is, if you follow him, look at the hacks that he uses. He's constantly repurposing other people's content and of course using his own, but he's not re-engineering the wheel. And what I love about Tim is that he's very inspiring and very interesting to read and watch. In terms of repurposing content, the great thing about the existing content that you have is that it's rich in information, it's well thought out, it's referenced and it's thorough. However, you don't sit there and need to repurpose it yourself. Outsourcing your social content offshore, onshore, nearshore, or to a freelancer is a really good way to ask them to repurpose it. Slicing and dicing your blogs over the last 3 years, or slicing and dicing the big market reports that you've put together for a nominal hourly rate, or certainly an hourly rate a lot less than yours, is a really smart way of looking at your thought leadership over a series of months. I'm sure you already schedule your social posts over a period of time. This is something that you can use things like Monday.com or Hootsuite, or there's quite a few others. But what you'll find is that scheduling your social posts is something that will get less engagement than if you post them in real time. So ensuring that you're doing a bit of both is also important. I've been using the same platform for social posting for about 2 years, and it wasn't until preparing for this session that I actually realised I'm using one of the worst ones there are at the moment, and for my money I could get a far better platform posting content, and they do a lot of the repurposing for you as well. The other hack I love is Canva. So most of you will know Canva, but if you look at even the basic functionality of Canva, reposting videos on Canva is really easy. So you can have a very short presentation that's really, really incredibly visual and actually download it as a video on Canva and post that online. It's far more interactive, with video serving 30% more likes and engagement than normal static content. One of the other thought leadership hacks in terms of getting into a new group of individuals, or perhaps a new area of thought leadership, is to hustle your way or to host your own panel event to show credibility in thought leadership. So standing on the shoulder of giants to actually put on an industry-specific event that will serve your community, and making sure that you're asking big heavy hitters for keynote speaking and MC. This will very shortly propel your image as a thought leader in that specific field. I don't know about you, but I'm still trying to know how to work out with LinkedIn what's really landing with my content and what perhaps isn't. What I have found, and I do have on good authority, is that if you change your profile to a creator profile, that it will increase your posts getting out there by 30%. My friend, who is a LinkedIn trainer and has been doing this for quite some time, assures me that it's actually higher than 30%. By changing this, it means that your profile is open to a lot of other people. However, they still need to connect with you in a certain way. What it means is that your posts are going to be prioritized over other people's posts because LinkedIn sees you as a thought leader. None of us have time to set up our own podcast from scratch overnight. However, there's no reason why you can't pitch to be part of someone else's podcast in your industry. Knowing the podcasts that are really important to your industry, it's super important to get in touch with those thought leaders and for them to showcase you on their podcast. One of the final hacks to thought leadership is to, when you see a article from your industry body or someone with a credible piece of writing, where you can simply filter this article and summarize it in 5 or 6 lines, and of course reference the article, but summarize it for your community so it's quick, short, sharp, bite-sized piece of information. And finally, my final hack is to get access to those platforms or organizations who have lots and lots of thought leaders on their platform or in their network. There are booking agents out there that will book speakers, for instance. They will do keynotes and thought leadership speakers all around the country. Being part of that community and being shoulder to shoulder with other thought leaders in other industries is also a really good way of expanding your own learning and development in thought leadership, as well as your network.